I'm addicted to success.
What's up? Welcome to your favorite podcast, The Ain't Shit Show, the home of booze, views, and unpopular opinions. I want to thank y'all for joining us for episode 143.
143.
My name is Fresh, and I'm one half of the pod gods. And with me, I have the best man in all the podcast land, my right-hand man, Mr. BL.
What up? Fuck is y'all doing? What y'all got going on? Hope y'all doing all right. Peace and blessings to the population.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Peace and blessings to the population. We have been gone, but we have not forsaken you. We are back, baby, and I am ready to be back. How you been?
I'm pretty good, man. How about you?
I've been good. I mean, for the most part, as life always is, there are ups and downs. So I've had ebbs and fucking flows. And when you come off of a high, reality will smack your ass real quick. But
how that shit happens.
It is, man. It is. But, count my blessings. I had the 2021 birthday tour. A lot has gone on. We haven't recorded in damn near 4 weeks almost. But birthday tour happened, went to Mexico, went to Puerto Vallarta, had an amazing time. That was the last show we did right before my birthday.
It's about time for another damn birthday tour.
Fast. So
I want to go on vacation like every 2 days.
Listen, if I could go somewhere that is not like just visiting family, but if I could go somewhere once a month, I'd be happy.
Shit, you just went somewhere this weekend though, didn't you?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, and just
Nah, I
incorporate on a day-to-day basis. So I went to Mexico. That was fucking amazing. It was views, the house, my birthday, my friends, all that was done for me, all that we did together. I was out there for fucking 6 days, stayed in an inclusive resort for 2 days, all-inclusive resort for 2 days. That was fire.
That shit was nice.
Then got a house. The house was fire.
The resort was fly, but that fucking house shit was some shit.
Insane, right? The house was insane. The house was insane. Yeah, everybody went nuts for that house. But let me tell you something about that house. Even though that house was fucking amazing location. So Puerto Vallarta is mountainous, and everything is built on the side of a mountain and near the water, and it's just beautiful. And this house was procured for us, and I was just like, oh shit, this shit crazy. So all of us going crazy about how nuts this house about to be, right? But what we not taking into consideration is that this 7-level house comes with 7 levels and no elevator.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
stairs have never lost.
Nigga, let me tell you something.
Undefeated.
House had 3 pools. The house had fucking numerous spaces for dining and shit like that. So we had 1 level, which was the top level, in which the cook and all that put out our food and shit like that every day and cook, and we'll sit outside on. We call it that the brunch level, right? That was like the first level. That was like the landing level when you come into the house, right? So when you come into the house, you can go up, which my room and another room was, and then you go into it's like the main level of the house. So that was there. And then you go down 1 level, and that's what we were calling the day party area, right? That was the optimum area. However, the pool was smaller. And then on the very bottom level, we call that the spring break level, right? So that's where all the crazy shit went down. That's where the crazy large pool was. The other floor had an infinity pool. It was all dope shit. But when I tell you niggas had to make a decision. And we was all, cause you know, it's a house, but we all together. So we ended up in the same places and kicking it in the same places, right?
Y'all ain't living there. Y'all
you know what I'm saying? So niggas gotta make like a real live effort to say if we go into the spring break area. Cause that shit is 7 floors down and 7 floors the fuck up.
Ain't no elevator in that shit?
Bruh, ain't no elevator in that hole. Ain't no elevator in that hole. And then what made it so bad, I was just like, you know what? Bad. Facts. So like the way the house was set up, like it was rooms on certain levels, but then like after you go on like that level where I was telling you was the day party level, like the rooms go down the side of it. So some people rooms was further down the levels. You know what I'm saying? So niggas was like, so is this where we going? So where else do we have to go today? Cause once I go to this level, I'm not coming back up this bitch until I'm coming up this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm up here for good. Yeah. I start calling the shit, like on, once you get to a certain floor. Huh?
I said, I've been crashing another motherfucker's room. Like, hey, look, man, I'm tired. I can't go to the 3rd floor right now.
I mean, it was, listen, it was mad seating areas. It was mad couches. It was all that. You could have laid somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if it wasn't in somebody's room, it was enough space. But once you got to a certain level, I started calling it the Ric Flair B, and I thought about you. Cause once niggas got to that certain level, everybody be like, woo! Like, niggas thighs burning, glutes burning.
Goddamn, this party over, nigga. Tell the rest of the crew. We where the fuck we at is where the fuck we at. Fuck that.
Where we at, like niggas texting and shit.
Undefeated. Shit's undefeated, bro. But that shit was fire though. Fuck that.
Yeah, no, the shit was fire. It was definitely an experience. But when I was saying like with the elevator, I was like, I don't know, this shit built into the side of a rock. Like, I don't know if I would want a elevator on that inside. Maybe if it was like some dope shit where it was on the outside and it was some glass shit that go all the way up or something. But I was like, nah, I wouldn't want to get stuck in an elevator on the side of a fucking mountain. Like,
that's the Batcave though. That's how Bruce Wayne had that shit on the mountain.
Hell yeah. Bruce Wayne had the upgraded facilities, made sure somebody was there to get his ass out.
That's a fact. He definitely had Morgan Freeman down there.
He definitely had that. Then I went to DC.
Oh, yeah.
And
that was dope.
Me and my sister, birthday is 3 days apart. Had an outside gathering. What sister is that? My youngest sister. Our birthdays are 3 days apart. Mine is May 31st. Hers is June 3rd. My youngest sister. Gotcha. And so I don't know. It actually wasn't until like probably the past 6-7 years where we actually started like celebrating our birthdays together and shit, or you know whatever. We'll do shit together. So that was great. Got to see my nephews, my nephew and my nieces, and have a good time with them as well, as long with family, you know, shit like that. And everybody, you know, had a good time. You know about me, I just like seeing black people have a good time. And but them cicadas, bro. Have you been aware of what these cicadas have been like in that area?
I've been told. My cousin stay in Cincinnati, and he sent me like mad videos of that shit. That shit is the end of the world coming. Man, we got COVID, cicadas, all type of shit.
Locusts.
Gonna be fire and brimstone next.
Nah, for real, like
fire.
B. I've never seen anything like this in my entire fucking life, and I'm just like, no, this shit is a movie. I ain't talking about you got like 5 or 10 of them. They said it happens every 14
years. So does it not have that? That was the first time you experienced it in DC? Like,
that was my first time experiencing it anywhere. And it's supposed to be every 17 years. It's supposed to be every 17 years. But I promise you, it may not have been like this year, but I promise you in the past less than 10 years, something else was going on with some cicadas before, because this, you know what I'm saying? I feel like this is my first time hearing about a cicada.
I want to say it was in Baltimore.
I'm like that. So me and my other sister was debating with my mom. My mom was like, no, they ain't came before. We was like, no, we definitely heard about some cicadas more recent than 17 years ago. For sure. You might be right. It might be in the Baltimore area.
I want to say I've seen them because like I vividly remember like a bunch of their carcasses just being like on the side of the, on the fucking, you know, on the city streets, like going into the gutters and shit. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if I visibly saw that shit or if I saw it on the news. But I've been to Baltimore several times, so I don't know. But I remember that shit happening definitely within the past 10 to 15 years for sure.
Definitely not 17 for sure. Definitely not 17 years. But it's not like it's 5, 10 of them bitches like mosquitoes. Nigga, I'm talking about infestation levels. Like 100 of them holes outside your door. It was creepy. I was just like, I pulled up on them like, yo, y'all didn't tell me the shit was like this. Like, it was scary. Like, the kids couldn't go outside and play. I got attacked. One was in my shirt. And the thing about the cicadas is, for me, is I don't understand their purpose. Because they're not trying to bite you. They're just annoying. Like, they big as fuck. It's like a cockroach and a cricket had a baby. A flying cockroach and a cricket had a baby. They're about that size. They big as fuck. They just fly into you or in windows and anything. Blind. So that's the thing. I keep hearing that they're blind. Then I hear that they're not blind, that they actually have 5 eyes. So I don't know why they just fly into you. Like, they're not trying to bite you.
They got 5. They might be like albinos. You know what I mean?
Okay. True.
You know what I mean? Because they have they have eyes and sight, but all of them, like, as a result of their birth, have eye defects and shit. You know, like the specific disease they have. So
we need to look it up, but I could go with that theory. I could definitely roll with that theory. And like, apparently they trying to mate or whatever, and they're making these noises to attract mates, but they also like do male on male. So I'm not sure if they're trying to procreate. Yeah.
Niggas gay albinos.
The albino gay cicadas. Like,
gay ass albino ass fucking cicadas. That's crazy.
Bruh, after them joints attacked me, when it got, like, I don't know, like, I think they have subsided a little bit, not fully gone away, but allegedly they're supposed to be leaving in the next couple weeks or dying out.
But that shit been going on mad long. What the fuck?
Yeah, they not supposed to leave till like the end of July or some shit.
Them shit's COVID. That's what cicada means.
They
COVID.
are the physical manifestation of COVID.
Like, what the fuck, bro? Yeah, what the fuck? I thought that shit was like a week, 2 weeks type shit. Like, y'all niggas into the whole summer, ain't you?
They in the bird box up there, man. They is really out there in some shit, but found some type of raid perimeter shit, and that helped. That helped. It definitely helped. It didn't make them fully go away, but it probably reduced them by 80%, I would say, because we wouldn't have been able to have that outside event if them cicadas were still popping the way that they were. I was running down the street like a cartoon bee. Like, they just came flying at me, my nigga. I'm running, hands flailing. I know if anybody looking out their window, they cracking the fuck up.
That is the funniest shit in the world. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, anybody in the world, the hardest motherfucker is gonna turn soft immediately. Like, when a bug gets in their vicinity, they gonna try to get away from that shit immediately. Is
on them. Like, here's my thing about bugs. If I can detect you and you are not a fast mover, I'm good. You know what I mean? Right. Like, my sister, my older of the 2 sisters, any bug, she freaks the fuck out. I'm like, dog, you know, you can literally just lift your foot up and lift your foot down on it and it's gone, right? Like, you know that, right? Like, you're way bigger than this bug right here. Right. It's not flying. It's not trying to bite you. It's just around.
Just living.
Yeah, but that shit was super crazy. And then I went to Savannah this past weekend, and that was the wrap up. I was actually supposed to go to Vegas this weekend coming up. But that did not happen. And also, unfortunately, my aunt passed away.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Rest in peace to her. Thank you. She passed away, what's today? Wednesday. She passed away like late Monday night. Unexpectedly. She was an older woman, but she was a healthy woman, lived by herself, you know, and traveled and did all of that. Late 70s. It was just like an unexpected thing, man. You know, you just.
Your mom or your dad's sister?
Actually, she was my grandmother's first cousin. What we call her.
Oh,
gotcha, you know what I'm saying? She was my grandma's first cousin and like best friend. You know what I mean? Like one of those things. And, you know, it hit me hard because I always loved her. She was my family, of course. But, my grandmother's, not to bring the move down, but my grandmother's, the anniversary of my grandmother's death was like the other day, right? So, I'm a distraction type person. I know that about myself. It helps me cope. You know what I'm saying? So when I don't want to deal with some shit, I put my focus into some other shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to have a good time and shit. And then, the person that I most think about that reminds me of my grandma, then she passed. And I was like, oh, God said, you're going to deal with these feelings, bro. Like, you're going to deal with this. So my day yesterday was not that great, but, get down, get back up. And
how was Savannah? Did you enjoy it? I love Savannah. Savannah's amazing.
Savannah was amazing. And Savannah was a good time. I like the aesthetic of Savannah. It's definitely like a good chill shit. Like, I wouldn't go there to like turn up or no shit, but definitely a good, like date spot, significant other spot, or, you going with like one or two friends to kind of like just see the sights and shit like that. Like, it's a cool place.
I don't know, that shit kind of lit though. Like
that was my first time, so maybe I didn't see everything.
It was my like the whole river area, like the river walk and all that shit, like those 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks and shit. That shit was like the whole downtown. That shit be lit. Like, it was mad bars and shit out there. Oh
yeah, I mean, it was mad bars and it was like mad people. It was like mad white people and like,
yeah, for sure.
I mean, it wasn't. I mean, again, you gotta take into consideration like the places I've been in these past couple weeks. So it's just like, oh, this cool. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's cool, but it is a cool place. They hit some bars and, I'll talk about it later in Free Smoke, the thing that kind of pissed me off. You already aware of it. But I'll talk about that in Free Smoke, but it was good. One thing I did not like though, and it's kind of like when you go to Myrtle Beach and places like that during like the summer, we paid fucking $300 a night to stay in a fucking Hampton Inn.
Ooh.
$300 a night. Yeah. That's some no Vaseline right there. You could have used lube on this Hampton Inn.
Yeah, I stayed when I went. It was in April for my birthday, and I stayed at what the fuck I stayed? It was the Hyatt. It's like that tall ass. You could see it from the river and shit. It's that tall ass shit. That shit was like $600 a night. It definitely wasn't worth it, but it wasn't the Hampton Inn. But it was my birthday, so I ain't really give a fuck.
$600 a night. That is just crazy. Like,
for sure.
I didn't even pay $600 a night in a 7-story house. Like,
maybe it wasn't $600. It was like $300. But yeah.
That's still a lot for that level of a hotel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It still wasn't worth it though. I mean, it was nice ambiance, but the room itself was like, I'm gonna stay away from the rooms, you know what I mean? But it was overlooking the river and shit, so that shit was kind of flat.
Yeah, you paying for location. Yeah. I like the way that it's kind of like set up, that cobblestone to get your ass though.
Oh yeah, no, hell no. That shit is fly. Like, that shit dope. That's the river walk shit. Yeah, that shit'll whoop you. For sure. And so they were saying, did they tell you the story about all the cobblestone and the bricks and all that shit?
That is dead people under it?
No, that was used, that all that stone used to be in, like a stabilizer in all the boats down there. Like all the boats that were coming to and fro, probably slave ships and any other boats, but they had like just big piles of fucking all that, because it was like a stabilizer, so they would put it in the bottom of the boat to keep it, from tipping left or right or whatever.
Okay, so it was like balance the shit?
Yeah, I forgot the technical term, but they end up having like fucking huge piles of that shit, and so instead of paving the streets, they just put that shit down. So that's why all that shit is stone.
So the story that I got related to the stone, it both of the stories could be true or false. I don't know. But one of the stories that I got about Savannah is that Savannah is basically, when they built Savannah, they did not, like, that used to be a place where like they buried a whole bunch of motherfuckers. So like they just built the fucking city over the fucking graves and shit. Like a bunch of unmarked graves. Like the whole area is like built over a whole bunch of fucking graves and all that shit, and like shit be coming up. But they said that's one of the reasons why not just the cobblestone, but like the streets are uneven. Like a lot of Savannah is like uneven as fuck when you get down there to that particular area.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if that shit is true or false.
I mean, I don't know. I know
like,
it's on. Wow. I mean, it's on coastland, so, or river. Not. I guess what riverbank. I guess. So yeah. I mean, that is already gonna be hilly and shit. So I don't know. I mean, nothing surprises me, especially with white people. So
that part.
Yeah. So whatever. But like, nah, I took a tour on the, I don't even know, like old Savannah tours and shit. Like, and,
yeah,
like I did that shit like 2 days in a row. Did you go down there by the fountain and all that shit?
By the fountain? No, I don't think so. Cause no
like a big
fountain stands out in my mind. No.
Oh, that shit definitely stood out. It was like mad. Did you see where the Forrest Gump shit was shot?
We took a tour and went through like that park. Yeah, it was a fountain there. I think that's the part where I was mad. So I probably wasn't paying attention, but I do remember him pointing and showing where Forrest Gump was shot and all that shit. Yeah. So we definitely could have passed that on the tour. Yeah,
on like 3-4 blocks down, that shit was like a big ass. It was called Forsyth Park. Shit was fly. Like shit was beautiful. Like the big ass. They had this big ass fucking like fountain and shit. Like it was mad serene. They had all them not the weeping willows. What's the name of them shits? Those what's the name of them fucking trees? They got like
sycamore trees.
Sycamore trees, correct. So they had, and they was telling. Did they tell you how they used the weeping part, like the weeping, the stringy part on the trees? I forget the name.
The stringy part. How did they use the bundles on the trees? What they say?
Yeah, but they said that the settlers back in the day used to use that as for like, they used to put that in their pillows, and they used to get chiggers, from that shit, like bed bugs bite and shit, like so they would get bed bugs from that shit. You know what I mean? So
why would they put that shit in their pillows and shit?
They didn't know initially until they weren't from here. They just fucking discovered some shit and stumbled on it. You know what I mean? And then so happened to fucking, just learn off living off experience and some shit they weren't supposed to do. So.
And that, it was good. I would, I don't know. So I don't know if I would go back on
I went to the
another
hood too, though.
tour there. Oh yeah, you like Joy. Shout out to Joy. Y'all like going to the hood.
Nah, I'm saying like I went to, like, not by mistake though. Not by.
Oh, I thought you were one of those people who hit the hood as part of their vacations all the time. Nah, that's how Joy is. She loves the hood.
Nah, fuck all that. Yeah, nah.
She want to know where the hood niggas at.
I want to see the black part though. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to see the black part of town because it's steeped in black history and shit. And but like it was like a pizza spot because I was going to mad. I'm a foodie, so I was looking up mad food shit, and it was like this pizza spot right down the street from that shit. And I ended up like trying to find it on my GPS, and I had to pull over in the gas station. And I was like, ooh. It's a little sketchy over here. So I seen it was like a detail shop, and then I seen a mechanic shop, but niggas won't really fixing no cars.
Check cashing spot.
Yeah. Nah, it wasn't no check cash. It was a bullshit. It was a detailing spot. It was a bullshit gas station, and it was a fucking mechanic spot right behind it. But that shit was some niggas weren't really fixing cars. Shit, wasn't no cars in the yard. Niggas just had. It was like, all right, go ahead and hurry up.
Niggas just had cars on bricks and pit bulls outside. Hey, that's what
they had. Man, that shit's so pretty down there, though. I really enjoyed it just for how I like scenery and shit. So like the scenery was crazy. Like it was, especially when I drove to the mall. Like I ended up going into town and I went down some long ass, I don't know. So I guess some long ass street, and that shit was one of the most beautiful streets I've ever been down. Like it was just rows. It was just like blocks and blocks and blocks of beautiful houses and beautiful landscape and shit like that.
Did you go to Tighe Island? Go to the beach?
Nah,
did you go to Tighe Island?
Cold. It was cold that day. Nah, it was cold that day, so I ain't fucking around.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I went to the beach. That was dope. I do want to say, I went to Wet Willie's. The first night I got there, we got in town probably that night, probably like 8, 9 o'clock. Went to Wet Willie's. They closed the Wet Willie's here in Atlanta.
Oh,
I think Wet Willie's have been closing down. I feel like the only one is left is down Savannah and Miami. But anyway, went to Wet Willie's.
Yeah, I want to Myrtle Beach too.
Oh, okay. Went to Wet Willie's. I just want to let y'all know the combination is the Call a Cab and the Willie Days. Okay, get that combination. It works. Anybody know Wet Willie's? The Call a Cab is the most strongest one. So you get those two. The shit tastes great. Anyway, there is a sandwich there. I just want to say, I want to give Wet Willie's they fucking props. Wet Willie has like a shaved, like ribeye Philly on a brioche bun. Oh my God. I tell you, that shit was bomb as fuck. Like, they cooked that shit perfectly.
I don't recall like the food being that good at Wet Willie's the last time I went.
Well, I can't speak for all of the food. I'm just speaking. I mean, the food was adequate. Like, the rest of the food was great. It was fine. It was fine. It wasn't nasty or nothing like that. It was good. It fit the bill. But that fucking sandwich was some shit. That sandwich was some good fucking shit. Like, that sandwich was it. So if you go to Wet Willie's, definitely go get that sandwich. I had some good food. Maybe you need to put me on to some new places. I had good food, but I didn't have anything that made me be like, oh, I got to come back for the food.
Oh shit, I did. I had mad shit. I wish I'd have known. Like, I ain't know you was there till you was about to go. But if I knew you was going, it was mad. Like, I only went one time, but like, I know a bunch of people not a bunch of people, but I know a lot of people that have been there. So they gave me about like 10 different recommendations. Like, it was a seafood spot. It was an ice cream spot. Like, what the fuck? Leopold's ice cream.
Yeah, I saw the ice cream spot. I can't ice cream on the go. You gotta tell me what old people can eat and digest.
For sure.
On the go.
I had some good it was a spot like further up from there. It was a seafood spot. I had a good ass po' boy there, and Tiff got some like banging ass fried fish and like potatoes and shit. Like, but it was fresh, like fresh seafood. I went to another little like, it was like a sports bar, but it was downtown too. It was fucking lit. I don't know what the fuck that shit was. And then they had like,
was it top?
There was a couple pizza spots. What was the name of it?
Was it called, was it a rooftop sports space? Rooftop sports joint?
Nah, I don't think so. Nah, it was, it had like an open area, and then it was a inside, and then it had like a big ass open space with an outside bar and shit. It was right downtown. I forgot the name of it. It was banging on the shit was right.
I went to some spot called Top Shelf or Top Sport. I don't know what it was, but it was like I would call it upscale like sports bar, but they had a crazy outside that overlooked the river and shit. That shit was dope. Didn't get to eat there, just had some drinks. Kitchen was closed.
Did they have any bands and shit going? Cause like last time I went down there, they had like bands and shit. It was like COVID was kind of turning around a little bit. So that shit was starting to open up a little bit, but that was obviously April and shit.
No, it wasn't any bands down there. As you can imagine, it was people with, masks, people without masks, whatever. Majority of the people probably didn't have a mask because they were also white. So they've been waiting to take them fucking masks off anyway. So, but it was
too though.
Nah, for real. You know what? I just be assuming at this point in time, if a person don't have a mask on, then they feel comfortable with their vaccine. But a lot of these motherfuckers don't have no vaccines and no masks.
Yeah, they just out here.
It was a cruise ship. It was a cruise ship like a week or two ago where everybody on the bitch got COVID, or a lot of people on the bitch got COVID because everybody was allegedly tested or had the vaccine. Like, niggas is buying vaccine cards.
Right.
Like, you paying to put yourself in danger is wild to me. Like,
that's a fact.
Just get the fucking shot or protect yourself. Like, who you cheating? You're either gonna hurt somebody else or you're gonna hurt yourself. Either way, it don't seem like a good outcome if you just out here scamming with your health and shit. I don't know, man.
Just to go outside, it's crazy. This shit
just to go outside. What you do anything? You do anything over the past few weeks? Exciting? You do anything Juneteenth?
What did I do? So this weekend I got really shit faced and it was great.
Nice.
What did I do? Thursday I ended up going out with my coworkers and shit. Like, One of these attorneys took us out, so he got us fucked up.
Y'all back in the office?
Shit. Nah. Mm-mm.
Oh,
we just met at a yard house and had an attorney take us out.
Yard house, I ain't had that in a good little minute.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. Much different than what I remember. Because I've been to yard house a bunch of times and that shit I really don't be like that, but the shit that we ordered this time was pretty good. And then I got really drunk on their dime.
Then I got really?
And then, not really drunk, that's not true. I had a couple beers and then I went across the street because one of my homegirls, she worked at King's. So, I seen her when I was walking in my car and shit. She was like, yo, come get a drink. I was like, all right, cool. And she worked the bar. So I went and got a couple drinks and shit. So Thursday, that was that. Friday, I ain't really do shit. Friday, and then Saturday, we want to watch the game. It was a bunch of us because my homegirl that worked at King, she was like, I'll be up here. I'll show y'all love. Y'all come to the game. I was like, fuck, hell yeah. So a bunch of me and my homeboys and homegirls and shit, my whole crew pretty much. We just went out there, had a good time. We got really, really drunk there, and then we went to a little local bar and shit, you know what I mean? Outside bar and shit, and got fucked up. And I didn't realize, I hadn't been that drunk in a very long time until I looked at the pictures. I was like, holy shit. I was finished. I was like, do not post these. Like, I look crazy.
It'd be crazy when you look at the pictures, right?
Yeah, I was like, nah, niggas don't post that at all because I look wild. I was having a ball though, so, but yeah, so that was it.
That's all that mattered. You had a ball. You had a ball.
Yeah, I mean, it was Father's Day weekend too, so, you know what I'm saying? It was like a collaborative.
True, happy belated Father's Day.
Appreciate it. One of my homeboys got a new gig, and then, it was Father's Day, and it was Juneteenth. It was, yeah, because we went out on Saturday, which was Juneteenth. So, it'd be dope just like being around your friends because it'd be so many random weird ass little jokes. Like, there's one lady, she showed up to the bar in like this burlap sack. And, me and my homegirl, like, we seen it like immediately. We just started laughing and shit because the shit had mad like air in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, I was like, oh,
mad
she
air.
Juneteenth for real. Like, she fresh off the plantation. You know what I'm saying? Like, she had just boiled some potatoes and shit.
She in that Kanye. She probably on that new Kanye.
That shit was crazy. That shit was a burlap sack. She looked like she was like on the runaway. Like that shit was crazy. I was like, dang. But, so nah, we just, you know, kicked in and shit. And, you know, I was supposed to go. Well, not I wasn't supposed to. I didn't plan on. They had like a big event. Unfortunately, so here go niggas and shit, right? So like on the south side, they had, this little dude, his name Poobie and shit. He used to hoop and shit. Played for Central, as a matter of fact. But he went to Enloe, which is a high school here that, conveniently enough, has two alumni from Enloe actually playing in the Eastern Conference Finals right now. Shout out to PJ Tucker, that's my dog. Shout out to Nate McMillan, who's the coach. PJ Tucker is from Raleigh. He's actually playing in the Eastern Conference Finals with the Milwaukee Bucks, and he is playing against a coach team that is also from Raleigh, which is Nate McMillan. He went to Enloe as well. So shout out to them. That shit was an extreme achievement. That was actually going to be my black fact, but it came up in conversation. So, I got another one anyway. But, so they had an event at Roberts Park over the weekend, which is like a gym and shit, like a park on the south side. And, it was a really good event. Like, it was, you know, dude named Poobie. He went to Central, played, point guard for them. He put it on, had like a basketball tournament for like middle school and high school. You know what I'm saying? It was just a dope event, like mad vendors and shit. It was just really nice and, you know, black and low key and, you know, had a little DJ and shit. It was just a vibe, you know what I'm saying? And he actually did it through the city, got everything, you know, permitted or whatnot, versus, you know, the years previous where he kind of just like ambushed it and did a guerrilla style. So unfortunately, some little niggas shot the shit up at the the shit was over at 6:30. And at 6:45, like some little 14-year-old nigga shot the shit up and killed an EMS worker. I don't know if she killed him. I hope she. I don't know if they killed him or not, but I know a EMS worker had got shot. You know what I mean? So that shit was whack. It was a negative look for the city, but like he had air, but like, you know, Raleigh's got a lot of basketball players from in the NBA. Like John Wall was out there, TJ Warren was out there. Like just mad niggas from the city was out there. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna go, but it was Juneteenth. It was hot as a bitch. It was like 100 degrees. It was hot as day. Like it was crazy.
I made
a joke like God let niggas know like, oh, happy end of slavery day, nigga. It's the hottest day of the year. Here you go. Type shit. So I ain't go because I was like, I ain't sitting in the heat because I was still gonna have my mask on. And I'm like, I'm not standing out in 100-degree weather with a mask on. Not today.
Facts.
So I didn't go. But I heard it was a really good event up until some little nigga. And mind you, the little niggas came to that motherfucker with full ski mask on. Like, you know what I mean? Like
that wasn't a hit right there.
The shit up. You said what?
I said, that wasn't a hint right there when the niggas had full
Right,
ski
that's what I
masks
said. I was
on.
like, well, y'all niggas tripping. Like, she was, my homegirl Carmen, she was like, oh, they look hot. Like, what's up with them? Like, why y'all have all these masks? Like,
why does he have on a
masks
trench
just
coat?
Not everybody, you know? Yeah, like, what the fuck? Like,
Oh,
so
got
up,
you.
You know, shooting shit up and shit or whatever, unfortunately, and somebody got shot. But it was just like, it's like, you know, and everybody saying that's why you can't have shit for niggas and on the south side and shit, because the south side of Raleigh is, you know, predominantly black. It's
all south sides are black.
That's true.
All south sides and black towns are black.
Yeah, that's a fact. So yeah, it was dope from what I heard though. So that was my Juneteenth. I didn't really do too much. I ended up taking the kids to the pool and shit, and then going out with my people and having a fucking blast and getting really shit faced. And then on Father's Day, I had a hangover all fucking day. So not the best decision I made, but it is what it is.
Did you get any good Father's Day gifts or gestures, or you get any macaroni frames?
She always doing some shit. Nah, she got me a wallet with like a picture that we took, like all it's like etched in the shit or whatever, and then like it's like a little signature on the back and shit. So it's fly. It was dope, you know, like a straight dad gift, but it was dope. I don't really give a fuck because I get whatever I want whenever I want, but you know, so obviously the thoughtful shit. And women give great gifts, especially my wife. I don't give great gifts. I be trying, but I just don't do it. I try to, but not really good at it, right? So, but that's the difference in men and women. Like, that's what makes women awesome. So, she got
I think men use that as an excuse not to pay attention. I feel like people do what they want to do.
I'm attentive. Like, I just don't be paying.
The same way, you know.
Shit, like,
listen, B, you send me shit all the time about all these random niggas and what they do and what they like, and you regurgitate these facts and all this shit. You pay attention to what you want to pay attention to. You know what your wife like. You know what people like. Niggas just don't want to, and they get a pass for it. I get it, but you know
I don't know if I agree with that, but whatever.
You can probably buy me a gift.
Shit. You know, I'll be buying shit.
You can definitely probably buy me something and know that I like it.
I mean, you like sneakers. You like shit that I like. So, I mean, that wouldn't be hard. I could buy you some white ones if I wanted to. And you'd be like, look at that.
That is very true. You could buy me some white ones.
Exactly. So, you're like, I mean, my wife.
But listen, here's the common thing, though. I like sneakers. You like sneakers, so you pay attention. So you would know something about me because you paying attention to a common subject that we have. And if y'all don't have it in common, then you just letting it go in one ear and out the other. Like,
not even that. I mean, I've been paying attention, but like, I wouldn't think to get her a wallet emblazoned with with a family photo. I don't even know I didn't know they do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know shit like that. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like,
I didn't know they do that.
Nah, I ain't know that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't be knowing shit like that. Like, it's not my field. You know what I mean? Like, not my field, man. I take a car to get washed and shit like that, and clean and get detail, shit like that. But
hey, that shit counts too. That shit counts too.
That's a fact.
That shit counts too.
The symbolic and fucking, you know, thoughtful ass, emotional ass. my mind doesn't go there. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah. My mom loves my gift giving and card giving abilities. Like, my mom and my grandmother is probably the only people that I still buy paper cards for. I bought a graduation card the other day, but most people don't like fucking cards and shit. But my mom, like, she literally looks forward to the card that I'm going to give her. And she was like, you always get it right. You always get it right. And, you know, like, people just like the thought. People just like, a person like me, I'm an acts of service. That's my love language. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention to me. You know what I mean? Like, we talk enough, we do enough. I shouldn't have to tell you everything. So, you know, when a person can pay attention to you and understand what you might like or what you may need, and a nigga like me, I always want some shit. So, and whomever would date me, they would know, like, all they gotta do is keep a running list, because a nigga like me always wants some shit. Like, ooh, I want this. Ooh, I want that. But I gotta, my mom got me a paper shredder.
Oh, what?
For my birthday. And the one that shred the credit cards and all of that, because I've been saying I want a paper shredder. So, you know, it's shit like that where I'm just like, oh, don't, like, this what I needed. You know what I'm saying? It's from your family too. So it ain't a huge pressure. I'm pretty easy, you know, to shop for. But I honestly don't, like, if it's my friends or something, I don't mind them saying, hey, what you want or whatever the case may be. However, I am blessed to have really good friends. I'm blessed to have really good friends that pay attention to everything and get me everything and, you know, do everything, for me. They say that I'm spoiled. Let me give a shout out to Shay. Let me give a shout out to Dr. Bone. Dr. Bone has been on the show. I feel like Dr. Bone only listens to the show after we go somewhere and then she want to hear a shout out. Hey, Shay, how you doing? Give a shout, say hi to Dr. Bone. But yeah, you know, so I have, you know, really a lot of good friends that pay attention and, you know, however, but you know, that's always a good thing. What is it like in Raleigh right now? Like the Raleigh and Durham area as far as like mask and the stores and things like that. Like, is everything just pretty much open? And
yeah, you ain't required to wear no mask anywhere. Like, unless the store, you know, opines that you do it. But nah,
what percentage of the stores are doing it? Like, are the stores pretty open? Are the stores pretty open?
I mean, they don't be tripping. I mean, like the people that work at the store usually having a mask on, but and even in that case, nah. I mean, that shit is like hit or miss. You know what I'm saying? Like it's probably 50-50. You know what I mean? But you don't have to wear a mask unless the stores require you to. But more times than not, like you know, you'll still see a lot of people masked up and shit.
Yeah, I do. I see a lot of people masked up. I know a lot of people with the vaccine that is still mask up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, I don't have it, so I stay masked up. But it's crazy because the movie theaters are now opening back up. Well, they've been open for a little minute, but they're not requiring masks no more. When do you foresee yourself going back to the movies? I'm
going to see Black Widow in the movies. So I think whenever that shit finna come out. So whenever that comes out, I'm going to see that.
Yeah.
I'll probably be doing I'll probably take off during the day or some shit, like take a half day or something and go see that shit when it ain't gonna be a lot of people.
Yeah,
I'm definitely going to see that. Yeah, I gotta see that in the movies.
When I think back on it for real, I'm just like, I don't feel like I've been to the movies like for real in almost 2 years at this point in time.
Yeah, I don't even remember the last movie I saw in the movies for real. And I'm a movie nigga, like I go to the movies.
And now, so everything is like in the theaters or on this app, like HBO, Max, or, you know what I'm saying, Amazon Prime or Netflix or whatever. So they're trying to persuade you to subscribe to these services. So I'm just like, well, will the movies ever be back to the way it's going to be? I really, really, really want to take my nephew to see Space Jam. I think that comes out in like 2 or 3 weeks.